Yeah. Whew. My coach. Family. Yeah. For real. Whew. Yeah. How you gon' say we relate when we can never relate? How you gon' say we relate when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? Who is my mother, my brother? They do the will of my father. I studied the law like a lawyer. Applying the law make it royal. The world is so overrated. I don't see what is the biggie. Everybody say they made it. Cut it, spend a couple pennies. Piece of who will give me plenty. Negative, get a shit. You should learn how to look. Who the true, who the crook. If it's right, why you hiding? Who said be a lie? Death is lurking, but I'm driving. Had to switch on the price. Nobody's playing somebody's. Hey, what's really going on? A pure soul in this body. Couldn't fit it in a clone. They say my face is like a stone. Tell them all I mean business. Everybody say you're wrong before they ever take a list. If it's yours, I don't want it. I don't touch it unless I own it. You should get it by your who. All that other stuff is phony. Lost religion, found a coach. No explain, watch me do it. Watch the fire, it'll roast you. Grown man should've knew it. How you gon' say we relate when we can never relate? How you gon' say we relate when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? Never relate.
Shalom, 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 y'all. Shalom is Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat. Um, as you could tell by the title of the show, what we're going to be discussing today is how the Bible makes you whole. And again, we're just kind of staying in the same area where we've been at for the past week or so, just kind of really hitting on the foundational core level stuff in the Bible, but this very foundational, and in the process showing you and exposing a lot of the false manipulative doctrines that are being taught out there, stuff that's leading a lot of people astray. But like I said, a lot of these people, they have itching ears, and those are the doctrines that they teach these people. But we're going to show how the Bible challenges you to be who you're supposed to be. And if you don't step up and take those challenges, you're just going to continue to have, and you're going to continue to experience a lot of difficulty in your life, a lot of pain. Okay? So, yeah, so it's going to be a good lesson. As usual, I am going to, start it out with current events. I'm going to show y'all what's going on out there, who's who, what's what. Want to say shalom to everybody. I see everybody tuning in over there on Facebook. Shalom to you, Ray Knight. Good to see you in there. Shalom to brother Cedric. Shalom, family. Sister Juanita. Shalom. Koya is in there moderating. Shalom to my wife. Red Beer. Shabbat shalom to ya. Let's see who else we got in here. Yadin. Shalom. Jonathan Arrington, Shabbat Shalom to you. Sister Lena, Shalom. Elder Rufus, Shalom. And everybody that I see still coming in. Janet, Shalom. Good to see you in there. Okay. Jordan Wolf, Shalom to you. And everybody else. So yeah, man, and I just want to say, if y'all have any questions, comments, matter of fact, let me get this set up. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, you can. How am I gonna do this? Okay. Yeah, you could call in. I'll let you call in to the show, and then you can also just put them in the comments right there. Okay. So I'll put the call-in number up here momentarily. There we go. All right. So yeah, so what we're gonna do, the usual show format. I am going to show you the latest, greatest, and up to datest in this crazy society, and it's gonna tie right into what we're talking about, because I want to make the agenda very clear of Satan's agenda. I'm gonna make it very clear. You're gonna clearly see it in society, in what's going on out in, out there in the world, in the entertainment world, and whatever, you want to focus on. You'll see it out there. But sad part, you're going to also see it clearly going on in the so-called Hebrew awakening. You're going to see a lot of, you're gonna see that a lot of people out here who call themselves so-called mores and assemblies and whatever they want to call themselves, Hebrew this, Hebrew that, they are very much envying their oppressors and choosing a lot of his ways. They are out here just pushing the same agenda that the society's pushing. So very clearly. All right. So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to get this number up here for y'all. Okay. And, all right. Okay. And we're going to take the time to do that, because I see a lot of y'all still coming in. Oops. So what we're going to do, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to pull the first article up here. And because I want it to be clear. There we go. All right, so the first one, and we had talked about this earlier. Okay, and I'm gonna talk this one here. Okay, this one here we had talked about earlier, but I'm gonna continue to bring this up because it's one of my okay, there we go. Oops. All right, I'll put this up here and we'll talk about this. I'll just work through this. All right, here we go. Trump's food stamp cuts begin soon and Black Americans to be hardest hit. It says new work requirements are set to throw 700,000 people off SNAP benefits, with African Americans to be particularly hit hard. Oh, snap! It's called SNAP, you know. Let's see, video. Okay, so what does all this mean? Look, I'm gonna show you this from a biblical perspective. This is not hard. What the Most High is doing is he's turning it up. He either telling you to, like, and this was gonna happen. He gonna put the pressure on. It's like, and what do I mean? Excuse me. He's gonna force you to get down and lay down. You know what I'm saying? You either gonna get after this book, you're gonna get your mind right, you're gonna start providing for yourself, you're gonna grow your own food, you're gonna come together with your brothers and sisters, or you just gonna become fully submitted and committed to this beast system and all this beastly requirements. That's what I mean. Y'all hear me say, you gonna get down and lay down? Hey, this is real talk. The writing is on the wall, okay? It's right there, man. And like I said, and I think y'all have heard me say it before. It's like, man, there's this thing in my heart to start gardening. It's been put on my spirit. It's like, shoot, y'all, a lot of people, I don't know if I posted, I know I posted it somewhere, but shoot, I tilled up a garden yesterday, in my backyard. This is a big, like 20-foot by 10-foot thing. I mean, I felt led, and it was raining outside. It was rainy weather, but it was like this get it done spirit on me to get after it and get it out there and get it done, because, I mean, it's here, man. The writing is on the wall. I'm telling you, it is the time. And, you heard in that Babylon captivity, that verse, he said, grow gardens, marry your children off. Okay? So it's that time. All right. Let me, what I'm getting ready to do is put this number up here for y'all. If you want to call in. 30. All right. So y'all bear with me. Okay. Come on. All right. Here we go. All right. I'm just getting this all set up. So, all right. There it is. So there, the number's up there if you want to call in. If you got questions, comments, concerns, I'm going to put it up on the other screen too here in a sec. But yeah, definitely. Let me see. All right, there we go. 5. All right, but yeah, and let me check your comments here. There we go. Just keep an eye on it. Yeah, but yeah, it's that time. It's the time. We gonna be hard as hit, and we, the other nations, they see it. They got enough common sense. They're joining themselves to us. They get it. They see what's going on. They see the signs of the time. I got a brother from he's from the Miami area. He's wanting to come out. He's gonna be fellowshipping with us, But a lot of our people, they will fight you on this. They rather be out there doing stuff of the world than doing what the book says. they're dazzled by what this world has to offer. It ain't got nothing to offer. They're gonna come to a painful realization in this thing. Okay? All right. So let's continue. And let me all right. Should have had. All right, there we go. Put this up here for you. All right. I'm just. All right. All right, there. That's the number if you want to call in. I'll fix it up a little more later on. But if you want to call in, let me get that one off there. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, definitely call in. Let's go to our next news article. All right. The next one. This is the other thing I keep telling y'all. These people, it's like literally when you look around, when you look in the news, you see that there is an ongoing invasion of demonic possession going on out here. Okay? You see that these people are it's just an ongoing demonic possession. Folks just doing straight crazy stuff. So in our folks doing straight crazy stuff session, we got this. Look. Look at this. All right, what you saw, you'll see another shot of it. You're gonna see another other footage. Folks driving. Look, you can't make this up. This is at an airport. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. These people are losing their minds, and this is what you're gonna see here in the end time. You're going to see people just getting demonically possessed, doing crazy stuff, shooting stuff up, driving cars in the baggage claims, just fully demonically taking over, and then just with a spirit of destruction on them. So that's what happened there. Somebody, like I said, they got fully demonically possessed. Now they're going to say, oh, he was suffering from psychosis and he didn't take his sorcery pills, otherwise known as, mental illness pills or antidepressants or whatever. They're going to tell you that. But the reality is, this dude fully manifested and went crazy. And, these people are going crazy left and right. This is why you need to get out of move away from these places that are densely populated. And it's same thing that I'm working on. This is what I'm working on, okay? I'm working on this. Thank you, Sister Lena. Appreciate that. All right? So let's move, let's go to the next one, all right? I'm telling you, this stuff is real. Now this is good, man. This is again. Look, this is a sign. So check this one out. This is all right. It says black man who acted as his own attorney acquitted of murder. Okay? This is something our brother Kabeer up there. He's a witness on this thing. All right? All right? He's a witness on this whole thing. He's doing this, and here's another example of it. All right? Look. A black man who decided to take matters into his own hands after being convicted of murder and serving 13 years in prison. And when I read that, that the brother served 13 years, I was like, well, dude, he was sitting up in prison and he had 13 years to educate himself, And Kabeer said the first time he was successful. Oh, there, Kabeer's in there now. Hey, Kabeer, call in on Zoom real quick. We're gonna talk about that real quick on this situation right here. Let me click over to my Zoom, see when you call in there. Yeah, man, call in there so we could. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, man, 13 years. He was accused of murder, and look how he got off. It says Hussein Bennett was charged and convicted in 2006 shooting death of 19-year-old Devon English and the wounding of 18-year-old Corey Ford, according to it says prosecutors initially claimed that Bennett shot the man after losing, and it says why Bennett was able to win a new trial based on his own appellate arguments. Bennett argued that a homicide detective coerced statements from Ford, which we know they do. We know they do that. And that's real talk, man. That's what these folks do. They they force you to say what they want. They'll tell you anything, and as soon as you start talking, they get in there, and they as soon as you start talking, they get in there, and they will manipulate you into they'll manipulate you into saying what they want. As soon as you start talking, they hit the record button. Seen it before. Look, it only took about 2 hours of deliberation for them to arrive at an hour and 20 minutes. To that's how cut and dry it was. And like I said, man, okay, no problem. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Kabeer. I understand. So yeah, so that's real talk. All right, so let's move forward. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna move to the next article here. All right. And like I said, all this is gonna tie right in to what we're gonna be talking about. All right. 10-year-old. All right. Of course, you're gonna have all these popping. 10-year-old girl suspended for asking to be exempted from Gayfer and Transformer school lesson. I'm not going to articulate that because they're shoving this agenda down your throat, the Gayfer and Transformer agenda. So there's a Christian girl, and they got the video here too, and she asks, okay, there he is. All right, Kabeer's in here now. Let me turn this up. All right, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep. So, hey, Kabeer, say shalom to everybody so they can hear you, and I'll let you talk.
Shalom, saints. Shabbat shalom, saints. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you. And I just wanted you to briefly talk on, again, our people who have an ear to hear, our people who want to come out of Babylon. One of the things I'm seeing on many different levels is the Most High is making provisions for our people to provide for themselves, their own protection, to provide food, only if their minds are right, to provide even legal representation. So on a legal representation, I was going to let you speak on that a little bit in whatever capacity you can.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know the whole situation with this guy and how he got off, but it doesn't surprise me when you find out that there's two, what's the word? There's two law systems going alongside of each other. There's parallel. You have common law, and then you have what you call it, the legal, the statutes, and depending on how you determine to start off, the legal, what we call legal statutory codes, that's something that has to be pre-agreed. So the defendant and the prosecutor both have to agree that they want to be judged according to the statute, which is crazy. And then you've got something called common law. Common law trumps statute, and statute trumps code. And this guy must have figured out that he can rescind anything that he may have agreed to when he did his case 13 years ago. I think he said 13 years ago. So if he agreed to have his matters adjudicated on the legal side, on the statute side, then he came in as a defendant. And when you come in as a defendant, now the judge trumps you. The judge is the one that can pretty much do what he wants because you agreed in the beginning. It's called a quasi-nisi court, which is something that has to be agreed upon. But common law is based off more of the Constitution, and that's where you really want to be. Like, for example, where I'll just not get into too much detail, but just like, for example, in Wisconsin, the situation that happened to my brothers, right? They want to get them on statute. Because the statute, I guess, says that you have to have a permit to conceal, right? But if you look at the Constitution of Wisconsin, it says that you have the right to bear arms for defense, for security, right? So depending on how my brothers come in, and obviously we're going to come in the right way, but depending on how they come in, if they come in pleading, like usually most people get an attorney in this situation. So you get an attorney, and the attorney gives you three options and how do you want to plead, and they try to get you to do a plea deal or plead guilty, not guilty, or something. I don't know, this not comprende. I don't even know how to pronounce that one word. But all of those plea put you in put you in a situation where you're going to end up being a judge under the statute. But if you don't plead and say, I just want to try by jury or court of records, then you're going to be judged according to common law. So just like even my divorce decree, I unknowingly got me an attorney, and my attorney pretty much turned me into the ward of the state. And so I ended up getting judged according to statute rather than being judged according to common law. And when you're under common law, there is no law against a man unless the man trespass against another man. In statute, they got all this crazy stuff, legalese and black law, color law, and all this stuff. So anyway, I don't know if I'm making sense, but there's two parallel things, and depending on how you come in. Now, most states in the United States are statutory, or what they call statutory states, and what that means is that there is common. And you heard that, right, Brother Mike? Where you heard that this is a common law state, and then you hear a lot of times states are statutory state. Have you heard that term before?
Everything. Hey, look, everything that I've been learning about common law and legal law is just everything I've been learning from you, and it's okay. like I was saying, you're like a pioneer in this thing, and it's a blessing, I'm
in it, and I'm learning from that perspective of the people who know more than I do. Well, when you hear states say that, you can find out what your state is. I know Wisconsin is a statutory state. All that is saying is that the court system wants to operate they want to operate in statute. So what they do is they do a prearranged hearing, and in that hearing, what they're really trying to do is get you to agree to be judged according to statute. But you don't have to be, like some people say, I'm not guilty. Okay, well, you're not guilty, but you agreed now to say that you're going to be judged according to statute. Instead, You don't want to, when you're pleading, it's like you're pleading to a God. The only people we plead to is Yahweh. That's who we do the pleading to. We don't plead to a judge. But when you make a plea, now you are under the judge. But if you come in and say, I want to be a judge, I want to be judged according to, I want a court of records. That's what a court of records. Most courts that this guy must have been prosecuted in a court of no records. But if you you ask for a court of records or a trial by jury, now you're going to be judged according to common law. And common law, man has way more leverage than under statute. So I don't want to get it too confused because I'm still learning and I'm still in the midst of it and everything. And you can always come out of the statute and go into common law, but you have to rescind everything that you have agreed to put yourself in the situation you're in. And that's kind of what I'm doing. With my situation, I'm rescinding all my contracts, and now I'm trying to get my situation out of the statute and put it back under common law and be judged from that.
So and just for all y'all who are tuning in and listening, just to kind of sum it all up in like real simple terms, what Kabeer's basically talking about, and I'm gonna make it real basic, is that like the default law is this law that we know of in this land, which I think he called the statute law, but you can function under a law that you have in common, which the law we have in common is Torah, and you can function under that law. And what Kabeer is saying is, when you function under their law, which of course it's a wicked ass country and there's snakes and they're shiesty, so is their law. And that law is meant to oppress us and take advantage of you. So literally what he's saying, like a lot of people don't understand the trickiness of their law and how they unknowingly agreed to submit under their law. And what he's saying is if you have a law in common with someone else or whatever, you can operate under that law. Did I say that right, Kabeer?
Yes. And so, like, for example, like in my divorce decree, everybody, I'll say do not get a marriage license if you, I'll say do not get a marriage license if you can help it. But if you do get a marriage license, a lot of people think that now, you always hear it's a 50-50 state. Well, what they're saying is, according to the statute, and if you have a marriage license, you have to, it's a community state, it's 50-50, which is true if you are under the statute, if you're going to be based off the statute, but everything you will pre-prove by the plaintiff and in this case, the petitioner and the respondent, like in my situation. So even though I had a marriage license, even though when my ex-wife petitioned the court for divorce, and when I accepted the service, I agreed to be judged according to the statute. And all I had to do was deny service. If I would have denied service, I wouldn't be in the situation. So everything that I did, I ended up doing it out of ignorance. Pretty much an attorney, that's his job. If you get an attorney as a defendant, their job is to turn you over. Their first duty is to the courts, all three, the judge, acting commissioner, the other attorney, the petitioner attorney, and your attorney. They're all in on it. And the key player is the attorney for the defendant. Once he's in the game, they pretty much know it's like you're telling them your secret. It's pretty much they know they're gonna win, because and when you come in and defend yourself, it's hard for them to do what they need to do because they don't have anybody controlling that defendant or the person who's supposed to be a defendant or a respondent, and so that's key. Let me read something to you right here. I just want to, I'll share this thing on when I get off. I'll share this website that it's the article. I think it's really good so people can kind of get an idea of what I'm trying to say here. But let me read this one section that I read in. It says, a Nisi Prius court
what's the name of the website?
But to get to this pretty good article, there's more than it, but it's called www.1215.org/law notes. That's LAWNONES/law notes again. I hope this is right. /NISIPRIUS Prius.htm. But I can put it on there when I get off here. But I just want to read this one part. It says a Nisi Prius court is a court which will proceed unless a party objects. So this is what most of us are seeing today. 99% of court are Nisi Prius courts, meaning it has to be agreed upon. Let me go back. It says Nisi Prius procedure is a procedure which a party first agree unless he objects. A Nisi Prius court is a court which will proceed unless a party objects. The agreement to proceed is to obtain from the parties first. In the matter of right that one may demand to be tried in a court of record. By sheer definition, that means that the court must proceed according to common law, not the statutory law. The only way that the court can suspend that right is by prior agreement of the parties, meaning the petitioner and the respondent, or the prosecutor, the defendant, or the respondent. Okay, but let me keep reading here. Not only that the court can suspend that right, the only way the court can suspend that right, the right of common law, is by prior agreement of the parties. That's what I did. I agreed. So I ended up losing my common law, but I can get it back. Anyway, for tactical reasons, the state prefers to proceed according to statutory law rather than common law. The only way it can do that is to obtain a prior agreement from the parties. That is the primary, but hidden purpose of the arraignment. I think I'm saying arraignment. Is that right? Procedure? The arraignment procedure. During the arraignment, the court offers three choices for pleading: guilty, not guilty, or nolo contendere. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But all three choices lead to the same jurisdiction, namely a statutory jurisdiction, not a common law jurisdiction. That is to say, the question to be decided is whether or not the statute was violated, not whether the common law was violated. So, like, for example, my brothers, they were accused of breaking a statutory law, right? Now, they go in and choose to plead not guilty. Well, they're going to be judged. They will be guilty because now they have made a plea, and that's why they try to get you to plea. Like right now, like I said, I don't think I should pay child support, or I don't think that I'm not seeing my son and daughter. I'm paying all these child. I don't even have a relationship with them. So you know what they'll tell you to do? Well, if you have an issue, you need to make a motion. You need to make a motion to the court. So what they want me to do is plead with them. As soon as I plead, I stay still in the jurisdiction. So what I do is I make notice. I put them on notice, and I start taking over. So, but they trick you into filling out their form. They trick you into get your signature, your agreement, so that they continue to have this. The reason why I haven't had to pay child support in the last 2 or 3 months is because the contract that we originally signed is void. So they can't really enforce it anymore because I'm no longer operating under statute. I'm operating under common law. But the court, throughout the whole time, right now, is still trying to figure out how to get you back under your jurisdiction. And the key is to stay out of it. Now, guys, I know people may be hearing this stuff. I will say, before you really get into this stuff, study it, because you can hurt yourself. So I'm just telling you the general theme, and you really have to make it a part of your life. You got to make it, like, for example, you don't hear me saying that I have kids, or I have children, or I have child, or I'm a parent. I'm purposely now learning how to get this in my work. We've been taught to speak a dead language. The languages that puts us in a situation where we're always going to be treated under statute. A parent, child company. These are all companies, corporations. I'm a father. I have property known as sons and daughters. So now I'm starting to use brother. I don't say like sir. So I'm really watching my language so that I can speak like it naturally. Because when the courts try to antagonize you, try to scare you, intimidate you, and bring deputies, you're gonna go back to what you know how to speak. Well, Dad, I'm the parent. Give me back my child. Give me back my kid. They got you. That's why you got to have it so in you so that you react the right way. Because when you're in there, your heart is going to be beating. I'm telling you. Even when I was in there, even when I was about to get arrested, because I've been studying for so long, they're trying to arrest me. I said, you do not have probable cause. You do not have a warrant. I was able to react and say the right words instead of just complaining. It's not about you trying to tell your story. They don't care about your story. You got to know your rights. If you don't know your rights, you have no rights. So anyway, just saying there is a difference between common law and there's a difference between. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to send you this picture so you can see. There's this picture that a brother Chase, I believe, sent me, found it, and I thought like, man, this is perfect. I'm gonna send you a visual. Maybe you can put it up there for the audience to see just what the difference is. But statutory is maritime, pretty much sea law.
Yeah, send me
of the law of the land.
send it on Facebook Messenger, and I can put it up there.
Okay, I will send that to you. And but anyway, does that make sense? I hope I'm not confusing people. And like I said, I just want to make sure I tell you I'm not an attorney. So this is not and you don't want to be an attorney. They're evil people. They're wicked. But I do know I am starting to learn law. But I would say study this stuff and understand it. Now, a lot of the learning is going to happen in just applying it. And right now, the reason why my learning curve has increased so much is because I'm literally in the process of doing it. So
right, for real, right?
Say again?
I said you said you literally in the process of doing it. Like, yeah, we see that on the news.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not something that a lot of people, they're going to look at you crazy, and you have to know that you know that you know. So one of the things that we're going to be doing is that there's a brother, that you guys saw at the conference, and he wants to help, straightway and educate us on this stuff and start doing seminars so that we can start becoming out of her, my people. I really believe that even though this is what I've learned from this whole thing is that this is really going to help us to come out for my people. We don't need to go to the public. We don't need to go to the world to handle our matters. We can, and even if the world try to bring us into the world, we can object to it. And so, once we get this and understand it, right now I'm in it trying to get out. The best move is not to even get in. So, and every court is going to ask you, how do you want to plead? If you can remember this word, it says, I do not make a plea. I do not plead. Just say I want to judge a trial by jury. Meaning you want a trial by jury, a court of records. All the other courts, this guy, myself, we're what they call a court of no records. If you can remember, a court of no records is what we have been seeing from R. Kelly. R. Kelly doesn't have to be in jail. Bill Cosby doesn't have to be in jail. But they are in a court of no records. And they decided to plead. That's why they say, how do you plead? And they'll say, not guilty, or guilty, whatever. When they plead, that attorney has literally turned their ass over to the state. And that's why they're being locked up. But if they would have not made a plea and said they want to be judged by a jury of their peers or, a trial by jury or court of records, they will have a better chance because there is no law against a man. I'll end on this last one. Like, for example, let me give you an example. For example, let's say, Brother Mike, and I'm not in any way insinuating anything here, but maybe I should. Have you ever heard the word if a man or older man have sex with a woman at 15? What is that called in this country? What do they call that?
Statutory rape.
Statutory rape. Now, this is not a person out raping. This is somebody the statutory rape means what? An older man having sex with somebody below the age, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what the word, right? But now, according to Torah, if the father and the husband both agree, and he gives his daughter to the man, and the man pays a dowry and things of that nature, is that considered rape in Torah?
No.
No. So that would be where common law comes in. But according to the statute, that would be considered. See, that's why they call it statutory rape. But according to a trial by jury, if you're being judged according to Torah and you choose to be judged according to common law and not statutory, they could not convict you for statutory rape. So even with R. Kelly's situation, if he was to come in and say, this is not for people to go out there and abuse it and stuff. I hope everything's done. Now, rape is when you're doing it by force, but essentially they call it statutory rape. It's not like the person forced the person to have sex. They both agree, but in this case, it was illegal, not unlawful. It was illegal. Legal has to do with statutory. Lawful has to do with common law. So it's illegal to have sex with a girl underage, I guess, and whatever that age, some 16 with parents of consent, or 18 or whatever. But the reason I picked 15 is I'm trying to break the legal code. So it's illegal.
Right.
It would not necessarily be unlawful. Does that make sense? But what they do is they confuse us by saying that that's against the law. No.
But and the thing is, and again, we're gonna reiterate, because I mean, you got, like, right now in this dead season, so I'm gonna reiterate it. That's not what we're advocating doing, because I know, man, there's people, they sitting there drooling, looking for anything to come against Straightway, come against Kabeer, come against Pastor Dow, come against Michael Israel. Like, I know some of these clowns are getting ready to drop their second little documentary attacking Straightway and everything. So get off it. It's in the video. We're not advocating that. Just simply showing y'all a legal how the law works. Go ahead, Kabeer.
But here's what I'm saying. See, let's say somebody hears what I'm saying, and they go ahead and say, "Oh yeah, all I gotta do this stuff." But I'm here talking to you normal. What people don't understand, when you're in that courtroom, they know you have common law, but they don't give a damn about the common law. They're going to trap you back into it. And because people don't know their term, they get trapped into their system easily. They think they're, like, I've seen all these people that say they have rights, right, when they're driving. I've been watching a whole bunch of videos of people who know some of the Constitution. They come in, but they do everything wrong. You can tell they have a little bit of knowledge. And then they say, no, I don't answer your question. But then they said, I need to turn off your car, and they still get their rights violated because they got trapped back into it, because they don't really understand how they operate, how they're going to come at you. They just take it. If somebody comes in and says, "Oh, Kabeer says I can have sex with a 15-year-old. Oh, great. Boom." Oh, I have rights. And then they say one thing, but they don't know. Just because you say it's not like to say, well, Kabeer, you're right. That is common law. No, they're going to look at you like you're crazy. And they will intimidate you right back into statutory. And when you see police and all this stuff, you're going to naturally acquiesce and capitulate to what they're doing, because now you're saying, because you're going to get to a point, and even me, you're going to get to a point like, I don't know how to close. I don't know how to really make this my court. But I can't, but they're not going to allow you to do it. Let me give, and I'm going to end on this one. Let me give you an example. How old is your youngest son? You have a son?
No.
Brother Mike?
No.
Okay, you have a daughter. How old is your oldest daughter?
She's 10.
10, okay. Let's say your daughter came up and she said, "Dad, I can drive. Man, I'm telling you, I know how to go in reverse. I know how to put it on D for drive. I mean, I can drive. And Dad, can I go get some groceries? Would you give her the keys?"
No.
Okay, but she said, "But Dad, I can really, really drive." So how would you, if she's making this boast that she can drive, let's say that you want to kind of see, how would you determine if she can drive or not?
Test her, ask her questions.
Test her, ask her questions. You're not just going to give her the keys based off of what she says, right? And that's what they look at us. If we come in here and start trying to quote the Constitution all stuff, they're not going to just give you do whatever you want. They're going to test you, to test your knowledge, to see if your boast is truly true. And so you're going to test her. You may take her to a parking lot. Okay, here's the car keys. You're not going to help her. She's going to sit there. Okay, I always thought that. Put it on D. And then you can see she's doing everything wrong. She didn't even put her foot on the brake to change the gear. She's doing all this stuff wrong. You can already tell she doesn't know what she's doing. And you're not going to give her the car keys. And they're not going to do the same thing. So just because you know a little bit of things and you heard some stuff here and there, and then you go into court, they're not going to give you the keys to say that we acknowledge that you do have the authority. They're going to test you. And it's going to say, well, how come you can't help them? They're not there to help you. You say you're a man, then act like a man. And if you're a man, you will know what to do. We don't need to tell you, because we're not going to just give the keys to the courtroom to just anybody. You got to prove to us that you're a man. And that's why it's very difficult to finish or make things go the way you want to go without you doing your due diligence. You have to study yourself to show yourself approved. So anyway, I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. That is not easy just knowing this. Even when you read this stuff, you say, oh, I got to read. You can read this, oh, I know how I'm going to do it. But then you say, okay, I got the court of records. Man, it's coming up. Then you say, what do I do next? I promise you're going to be in your situation. What's next? What's next? What's next? Because you don't have an attorney. And you don't want an attorney, but you need somebody who's going to help you to go step by step by step. So you may get to one category, you may know how to get the car and drive, but now you don't know what to do next. Like, do I press the accelerator? Do I put the brakes? Am I going too fast? It's a whole other thing. So every time you go to one step, you're going to get stuck. What's next? And so that's why this guy had 13 years to figure this thing out. He didn't go up one day and just woke up something to go up there. He eventually got to a point where he could defend himself.
Right.
So anyway, I hope I'm letting you guys know this thing is very dangerous. I mean, it's a loaded gun. It's a loaded gun, but you need to know how to aim it. You need to know how to use it. Just like everybody can go out and buy a gun, but there's a whole other thing when you actually have to use the gun and actually, shoot. And then it's one thing to shoot a target that doesn't move, but there's a whole other thing when you can shoot a shot at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't have that in the practice.
Right. And that's right. And that's the thing. And Kabeer, I appreciate all that information. And Kabeer, you're gonna be down here soon, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be down there. I gotta get my plane ticket. Yeah, I'll be down there. We were talking.
Okay, so Kabeer's gonna be on the show. He's gonna be here in the studio. We're gonna cover this in the capacity we can, because you can believe me. Hey, look, they're watching this. They're watching us. They're studying us, particularly him. There's and the stakes are high. You heard what he said. I mean. And this is very relevant because, this is one of the major ways that they've oppressed us for years. Modern day slavery is that prison system, is that legal system. The whole Mike Brown situation. You've seen on the news where all these places there's been riots at. You see that. You see that all these places where there have been riots, you've seen that it's been like a year later or a couple months later, they investigate and find out that they were just unjustly oppressing our people with the legal system. So this is the answer, man. You studied it like the brother said. What I hope having Kabeer come on let you see is you don't have to be oppressed by this legal system, but you have to do your homework. You got to do your due diligence. You got to seek. He's giving you a couple resources. You're sitting here. They got this internet here. It's full of information. And you got our people, all they on there doing is shaking their butts and looking at women shaking it. They just waste their time with TV and the internet. I don't watch TV. I don't know what goes on television. I'm constantly educating myself on like how to grow oak straw, how to start a garden, studying the Bible, getting understanding in biblical teachings, keeping my mind right, now that I got it right, you know what I'm saying, or semi-right, you know what I'm saying? not squandering my time away. You see what Kabeer said, what he's doing. He's studying this stuff. He's getting educated. The Most High has not made all this knowledge available to us for no reason. Okay? But I see our people, man, for the most part, they stuck on stupid. And hey, I'm not wasting time with them. I don't waste time. Because the Most High has put it on my heart that, hey, the time is short. We don't got time to be out here wasting. Okay? So let's move forward to the next article. Hey, Kabeer, if you got anything else for me, just hit the hand raise thing and I'll bring you right back in. Okay? If you want to contribute anything else, all you gotta do is hit that hand raise button. I'll bring you right back in. All right. So let's move forward. I got a couple more. Let me see what this is. Again, you know what they're pushing. See, this is that how it's all the way they operate like snakes, and they want to settle. This is what they use to destroy nations. It says U.S. cuts aid to Uganda, cancels military exercise over anti-gayfer law. Okay, so again, if you're not accepting that stuff, they want to force that on you because they know is low-key genocide. They know that's how they're going to destroy you. Let's stop your men from producing. Let's lock them in prison. Okay, let's push this agenda on them so that they don't produce a seed like Dwayne Wade's son. And then let's uplift them when they're accepted of it, when they accept it. Okay, because you see with Dwayne Wade, they pushing that all over the place. Oh, Dwayne Wade, he's come to terms with, the fact that, he's never going to have a male heir, or he's never going to reproduce, So let's uplift them, the people who do that. And the people who don't accept it and push that agenda, let's hold them down to the ground. You see what I'm saying? All right. So look at this. Hey, look, I'm not playing. I know what the heck I'm talking about. So look. It says Charisse Theron talks raising transformer daughter. It's all pretty new. Okay, so they're pushing it. They uplift this. And look, she done adopted, and that's a boy, and that's a sad state of affairs, brothers and sisters, man. It's sad. But they push it because they know if you're doing that, you can't reproduce. They cut you off from being a nation. It's wicked, man. They pushing. What do we see here? They're pushing it in the schools. They're pushing it in the y'all hold on a second. They're pushing it. They're pushing it in the schools. They're pushing it everywhere. Okay, that is the agenda. Okay, and you can't make it up. You can't make it up, man. But that's the agenda they're pushing. Okay, it is the gay fur transformer agenda. Okay, and what are you gonna do? You gotta let this book make you whole. Okay, it challenges you. All right. All right. So yeah, man. So and like I said, man, I've had so many people. Oh, why you what? I used to like you, Michael Israel, but now you pushing straightway. Every time I turn around, you're saying something about straightway. Because, dude, I don't see anybody else out there giving you any solutions on nothing. Oh, all you talk about is Pastor Dow. Because Pastor Dow is providing biblical answers and practical, applicable solutions and biblical answers in your life that line up with the book. They book. Everybody else just running their mouths, showing how much they know. Like Corey came on here, we started moving hard with straightways in August. Things have changed spiritually and literally and practically and marriage-wise, relationship-wise, everything. No, other people ain't doing that. They're just going through the motions, having meetings, taking your damn money. You got Kabeer here pushing in, helping you get these shackles off you legally. You got Pastor Dow showing you how to get these shackles off you financially and get the shackles off you dietarily and get the shackles off you educationally, where your kids are in the public fool system, and get the shackles off you emotionally, where you walking around where the men could get that feminized spirit off them and become real men and begin to have a relationship that lines up with the book and that's fruitful and productive. He's showing the women how to get that big butch manly spirit off them that they don't realize they have on. Where these women are out here running their mouths, being aggressive, acting like monsters, and they don't, and like Pastor Dow said, you literally, on these aggressive women, you can look at their face and they look like men. Like you can literally see it on their face where they like, they done killed their estrogen and they looking like masculine. Where when a woman is able to relax into her quiet, I had to get close to the microphone. Look, watch my look. Quiet, shame-faced spirit. When she's able to take on that type of spirit, it literally shows physically. You can see it where they look cuter. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, this is real talk. We're going to keep it 100 up in here. All right? And I'm telling you, man, what's going on up here? Somebody... Okay, let's see. Anyway, but yeah, quiet, shame-faced woman. So, what we're seeing, and I'm not just talking about it. What I'm experiencing is with the brothers and sisters in Straightway and the leadership in Straightway is just true brotherhood, true nation building. You see what I'm saying? Okay, you see it? Okay. All right. So that's what we're experiencing over here. And I'm leaning on people. I'm really leaning on people to question whoever you're under. Like, what are they doing for you? What's going on? I mean, what is the fruit? I just laid out fruit. I just told you what the fruit of Straightway Ministries is. What I've seen. What you and when I say what I've seen, not in secret. This is public, okay? Hey Kabeer, call back in to explain this real quick, okay? Let me see. Okay? I'm explaining what the fruit is. Now your ministry, when your health get bad and you end up in the hospital because you eating all this poison, they ain't gonna say nothing. When your marriage is going down the drain and you can't figure out why your wife's not into you and why you're not into your wife and all that, they're not gonna say nothing to you. When you're in debt up to your eyeballs and you can't figure out how to get out of that and what the deal is, they're not gonna say nothing to you. When you're in all types of legal trouble and the okay, I see somebody else is in there too. So when you're in all types of legal trouble and you can't, you know, you're paying child support and you're getting that. She going spending thousands of dollars on her big dumb silly hairdo, and you don't even got enough money to, you know, to part your hair. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got, you know, these people have, I'm telling, these ministries have no answers for you on anything except for you to give them money. Hey, go ahead, Kabeer. I'm going to put up what you sent me on the screen and just real briefly, don't go in too long, just real briefly explain what it is. And go ahead. You're in.
I'm assuming you're showing the picture?
Yes. The real and legal.
Hold on. I got it. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, just if you guys can look at the pictures real, you know, and you can share this with people, but if you see the yellow is for the living, and the blue is under the sea, is the law of the sea, it's for the dead. And you can see, if you see that red line separates the sea from the land. You can see anything that's above the red line is what they call lawful. That's where you see your constitutional law, common law, natural law. So yes, it's not. Somebody was asking me, is the Torah considered constitutional? No, it's not. It's just that the constitutional law is considered the law of the land. But common law would be Torah or natural law or universal. I mean, we're in that area, but the Constitution recognized Torah because it's the law of the land. Now, the thing, everything below is what they call law of the sea. That's where you have commercial law, commerce, you have maritime law, military law, and you know what I said? Every state said that they're statutory. You see how low that is? Statutory legislation, that's where you have statutory act, bills, codes, rules, legislation. And then you have corporation, business, legal person, franchise, all that. So you can look at that. So when it's in the law of the sea, it's public. You can see where it says private. You can see where it says fiction. You can see it say real. So you can kind of see all the different things. So anyway, it's just a good visual to understand. That guy was arrested under statutory, but he must have figured out constitutional common law and was able to get in there. And even if he killed somebody, according to Torah, the Torah says that not one sin can come against one testimony cannot come against a person. You need to have a witness of 2 or 3. So if he killed somebody, let's say he did it, even the Torah according to Deuteronomy 19, but no one can just say if he did it, he has to have a second 2 or 3 witnesses to establish that he did it. And so he could have actually killed somebody, but if no one could come forth and say, I saw him do it, I pressed the record, and another person is a proof of claim, yeah, I saw it too, then he will get off. That's how OJ got off. OJ was able to use common law, and that's why he won, because there was no witness. And he may have done it. He may have killed it, but obviously he killed the 2 witnesses. And so OJ was able to get off because of common law, and so they were able to get him financially through the statute. So anyway, I hope that makes sense of what I'm talking about. And I hope this doesn't mean give people a license to say, oh, let me abuse what I know. Let me go. That's why I don't want to share this with so many people, and because there are bad people out there, and so we do need statutes to control the bad people. So there are some people in there that will do this stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that picture. I thought it was a good picture. So.
All right, I appreciate it. And I see we have another caller in there. Did you have any questions, comments, or concerns? I see you in there. When you figure out how to unmute your phone, you could just chime in. I see somebody else called in. Just if you want to chime in, just let me know. And All right, you're gonna have to mute your TV now. All right, so there's not an echo. Yeah, I hear you. Hey.
Hold on. All right, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I got a question. Now I'm currently married, but I am since I started following Torah a couple years ago, following Pastor Dow and everything, and getting divorced. What's the best way for me to go about that? Because I do have a son. I do want my son to be with me. What are my options for that?
Kabeer, I'm gonna let Kabeer chime in. That's his department. So, Kabeer, I'm gonna unmute you. There you go. Go ahead, Kabeer.
Have you started the proceedings? If you have not started the proceedings, it depends who wants to get a divorce. So I don't know if you want a divorce, and if you want a divorce, then just put her out and give her a bill of divorce. But if she's trying to divorce you and take half and things of that nature, then you're going to want to deny service. Do not accept it. If somebody tries to serve you papers and say, "Hey, this is for your ex-wife," find out who's asking. They're going to ask you, "What's your name? Let's say somebody comes to you and serve you paper. Are you Kabeer Bajabi Miller?" Who's asking? You should always ask, "Who's asking?" They have to tell you, "This is from your wife. She wants to serve you papers for divorce." And all you have to do, just like you go into a restaurant, just deny service. I deny service. You have to verbally deny service, even if they drop it in front of you. Just walk away, run, say it's the bomb. You don't know what that is, but if you verbally say I deny service, the court cannot do. The public cannot get in. This is a private matter between two people, because they cannot impair the contract that you have with that woman. And then you just go ahead. If you want a divorce, just go ahead and put her away. I don't know about your financial situation. I would highly recommend that you get everything in your name and get everything out of her name so you have your strength. So if you haven't, then put everything in your deal there. So anyway, but I hope I answered both questions. So I don't know what the situation is, and if you're already in it, then now you're going to have to do what I'm doing and rescind a lot of stuff. No, I'm not. I'm not already in it. This is something that
perfect.
I'm just starting out. But so what do we do? I live in North Carolina, so I know how they are about. They definitely favor the female around here as far as when it comes to cousins and everything. So what do I do about my son?
Okay. Well, once again, I can talk to you on the side, but let me just tell you about what you just said. The statute, everything in the blue. If you guys saw that picture. Maritime law is going to favor the woman. The land, the law of the land is going to support the man. The law of the land is more patriarch, and the law of the sea is more matriarch. And what I mean by that is, you have to remember when the Constitution was written, it was written by men for men. I know we said for the people, by the people, but there is no law against man. There's no law. Let me give you an example. In my house, right now, my house is straightway praise land. There's areas that people are not allowed to go to. There's rules. You don't just go in there without permission. You can't go to my office without permission. You can't go to my bed. Things like that, right? But do I have to get permission to go to my own office? Do I need permission as the man of the house? Have to get permission to go to my own bedroom? Do I need permission? Obviously, it's no, right? Because there's no law against me. But those who are coming into this land, there are laws. They need permission. They need a permit to trespass. I have to get permission to trespass. Well, the Constitution is written in such a way that if you look at the Constitution, there is no law against a man. The only time the law comes against a man is when a man trespasses against another man. So even this is my house, and I set the rules. Obviously, we live according to Torah. But if I was to, Yah forbid, trespass against my brother's wife, let me take that back. Trespass against my brother by committing adultery. Now, the law, I don't have anything. I lose benefit. I should be stoned, for doing something like that. So the Constitution, there's no law against a man unless he hurts another man or trespasses against another man. And that's where Torah will come in and the law of Yah. So I hope, so in your situation with your son, it's your son. If you can find a way to make sure you have the strength, if you're the breadwinner and you have the money, then
She's not going to want your son because she can't afford to take care of that boy without you. And so you need to somehow make sure you establish your strength, meaning get your own bank account. I always suggest any man listening to this, if you're the breadwinner, and you should be the breadwinner according to Torah, if you're the breadwinner, you get your own bank account. You do not allow your woman to be able to have access or equal say on there. You can give her a bank account where you can put money in there for her, because one of the things that they could do is try to seize your accounts and things of that nature. But once again, you do have to agree to that. But that was the first thing I would say, just to make sure as a man, put everything in your name, the house, everything in your name. And now, just like my new relationship with my Shia, she has no access to my money. Without me, she needs me. So even we had sons and daughter with her. If she was decided to leave, okay, leave. What's she going to do? She's going to come back and she can't feed them. So she's going to come back to me because I have my strength. And fortunately, in this wicked system that we in, when a woman is able to take half and take the sons and daughters, they don't need the men anymore because you gave your strength over. And that's why women are able to get the sons and daughters, because the government, because we agreed to be adjudicated according to their laws, they don't need you anymore. They just need your money now, and they're able to get it out through child support. So anyway, I was like, that makes sense, and but we can talk on the side.
Right. And the thing is, we're gonna have a show coming up soon where we're gonna deal with a lot of this stuff. Like I said, Kabeer is still going through the learning process, but especially when he comes down here and he's in the studio, we're gonna hit this stuff, and I'm gonna have him, to provide resources that people can study on their own time. But yeah, I see we got another caller here. Brother Amir Carter, go ahead and unmute your phone, and whatever you get, let me know what your question, comment, or concern is. You just had it unmuted. Now you muted it again. Brother Amir, I see. There you go.
Sorry about that. I was trying to hear y'all. I couldn't hear.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm back. And I wanted to ask Brother Kabeer a question. So, you wanted us to study the law of the sea and the law of the land? Is that what you wanted us to study on? That was my question.
Yeah, I'm trying to unmute.
I would say,
there he is.
I would say I'll spend more time studying common law, Constitution, study that, but just kind of understand the maritime law. But really, what you're trying to understand first of all, I can help people more. Don't even get into it. You don't even want to get into it. But if you're in it, you got to understand certain terms. Not a lot. There's probably 8 different things, but that they would try to use to get. Man, if you study that chart, that would help you a lot to know about how they're going to. Like, for example, let me use like the gun laws. They say a person needs a permit. A person needs a permit to carry concealed, right? A person. But you got to ask the question, who's a person? A person can be a company. It could be a book. It could be your cell phone. It could be you. If you wish to be considered a person, now you are obliged by the statute. So you need to understand just terms like that, like person or you. I mean, words matter. But if you say, no, I'm not a person, I'm man. I am a man. Now that puts you in a different category because there's no law, there's no statute that goes against man. There's no law that goes against man. The only time you can go after a man is when a man trespasses against another man. And I'll even tell you that women, I know we already know if you're in the way, you shouldn't trip about this, but even under common law, man trumps women. A woman don't have the same rights as a man on land. That's why they take you to the sea, because in the sea, it's fair, I guess. They make it fair or equal. So that's why they say, instead of saying man, woman, or the woman is the helpmeet, in the maritime, a woman is considered a partner, like a business partner. And so if the partners that disagree, what they do? They split the company. And in that company, they have children, child company. And usually the child company goes to the woman in this case. So that's why you want to stay away from children and child. The only reason why I was paying child support because I acknowledged that I was a person and I had children. But now I recognize I don't have children. I don't have child. I am a father. I am a man. I have seeds known as sons and daughters. I do not create children. I do not create child. So how can I keep paying for child support when I don't have children? The only person that has to pay child support if you are a parent. I am not a parent. Now Walmart, they're a parent company and they have children company. So they use these terms and we acknowledge to be treated as a parent, as if we had children or child. So that's all you need to, I'm not saying that's all you need to know, but that's kind of the stuff you have to understand so that when they say, like when I went to the school, the school play, they said, do you have children in there? I told the officer, no, I don't have children. I have sons and daughters. Are you the parent? No, I'm not the parent. I'm the father. See? And they were going back, what do you mean? I said, I am a father. I have seeds. There's seeds in there. They're my property because a man, whoever creates it, owns it. So if I create it, I'm the owner. It's my property, just like music. Think of a music. When, let's say I went to Brother Mike's house. Hey, Brother Mike, I know you have a studio. Can I make my music? And then you make this music, and I got my beats, I got the lyrics, I come up with, but I'm using his studio to make my music. Once that music has been made, that's my intellectual property. I created it. Now, I use Brother Mike's studio to make my music. Now, just because I made my music in his studio, does that give him half ownership of my property? Mike, would you say you own it just because I made my music in your studio?
No.
No, because I contracted you only to use your studio. I may have paid you a fee. You may have said, Kabeer, go ahead and use my equipment. It's all yours. Or maybe I had to pay something because you were my helpmeet. I contracted you to help me create my music. But this is my intellectual property. It was the same thing with a woman. The man is the creator. He's the author. He created his son, his daughter, his seed in that woman's womb, which is the studio. She was contracted to be a helpmeet.
That's book. That's straight book.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. If you know Torah, you're gonna kill common law. You're gonna kill Constitution. You're gonna eat it up. And so you pretty much have what you need to know. You just got to understand how to stay in common law and constitutional law. Stay of the law of the land. Once you go into that sea, that's a whole nother world down there.
Well, hey, once you go into that sea, you're going to drown.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why a woman can't make claim and say, those are my seeds, because a woman cannot create. See, like, for example, my ex-wife, she would never, ever, for the rest of her life, ever be able to create seeds like mine. She would never be able to create a Kabeer Baja Biamila son to daughter ever again, because I'm never going to make seeds with her. But I can always make seeds. I can always make sons and daughter in my likeness. But it doesn't matter what studio I use or incubator I use, but I can always create. A man can always create to the day he dies, pretty much. And so that's why the law recognizes the man over the woman. And so that's why if you can handle your own, if a man can handle his own divorce and give the woman a bill of divorce, she can't get those sons because it's not her property. She's just a helpmeet. So she has no lawful ground to say that these are my sons or these are my daughters because she didn't create it. She's a helpmeet, just like a farm help. If I hire somebody to use my tractor equipment to help me to work the land, and then all of a sudden he's been using the tractor for 15 years, and he decides, like, my master, the husband or the master has never been out here, he never rolled these machines. I'm gonna take this tractor because I don't like how he's treating it. He can't take off my tractor because he doesn't belong to him. I created. Well, I've been driving 15 years. It doesn't matter. You've been driving. That belongs to me. You can leave, but you don't take my tractor. And it's the same way. You got to look at your sons and daughters as property. they're your property according to the Constitution. If somebody is using your private property for public use, meaning outside of your consent, outside of how you want them to be used, they need to compensate. This is why I'm going after my ex-wife for compensation, because she's been using my last name, she's been using my property, my sons and daughters, she's been using all of the labor that I've created through playing for the Green Bay Packers and what I've been doing on the side through investing. She has my property, and I'm going to ask for just compensation because it's my property. And the only way she can win, which she can't, and on the law of the land, she has to make proof of claim she created it. And everything she has, I've created it. From my labor, meaning stocks and bonds, from my sons and daughters, I created it. My name came from me. It did not come from her. And so that's why a woman don't stand a chance in common law. And so that's why 80 or 90% of women, when they go to the court system, they tend to win because it favors the woman. That's exactly what's happening, because they can't win on the land, so they take it to the sea so they can be on the even playing ground, because they can't compete with a man on land. So they bring it to the sea, and then there they make it equal, and that's why it seems like we get our ass handed to us when we go into these court systems. We got to stay on the land. And when the only reason why they can do what they do to us, I guarantee any man that has been raped by the court system is because you allowed it to happen. What does Proverbs 31:3 say? Do not give your strength over to a woman. Anybody that's gone through divorce, any man that has been taken advantage of and felt like they lost everything, it was unfair, is because you gave your strength over to a woman. And so what I'm doing is not that I'm necessarily returning back and trying to go after my family. What I'm doing is I'm no longer allowing this woman to take my strength. Me paying her $8,000 a month for child support, that's crazy. Well, she doesn't even need it. And so now what I'm doing is I said I'm no longer allowed this court to suffer me. When you say the word suffer me, it means that I have the ability to stop it, but I choose to be suffered. So I'm now saying, get your foot off my foot. Get your foot off my neck. And I'm not going to sit here and just allow you to just step on my neck. I'm going to get up and I'm going to push you away. And so that's what you see me doing. Now, I don't care necessarily what happens to the sons and daughters. We will see. I guess I can determine when the time comes who I want to keep and who I want to give away. It's my right. I'm a man. So anyway, I know I'm throwing a lot, but it sounds simple, but you have to do the work. It's like deliverance. Just like we got to be delivered from all these different demons, you have to put Satan on notice. So when you, like Elder Rufus said it best, I heard it from Elder Rufus. But a lot of people come in, they want to sit in that chair and say, I want to get delivered, but they haven't done their due diligence to determine what lawful ground. I use the word lawful, but you can use legal, but to not confuse, but what lawful ground does Satan, the house of time, has to be able to torment you the way he's tormenting you? That's why you need to go in and be able to put him on notice. Go in and find out where the root cause to all this is coming from. Why are you struggling with pornography? Why are you struggling with lust? Why are you struggling with rebellion, witchcraft or whatever? There may have been something that you gave some type of legal ground or lawful ground for Satan to get you. If you did voodoo, if you did any type of stuff or committed adultery or lied or whatever, you gave him legal grounds now to be able to torment you. And until you repent, until you rescind that and acknowledge that it is a sin, now you can sit in that chair, and when you sit in that chair, that should be way easy. The work is really done when you put it in. You know what I'm doing? When I go to court day on January 16th, that should be easy. I should not be there more than 15 minutes because it's not really that hard because I've been doing the work. What I'm doing leading up to it, that's where the work is being done. So then when I go to court, when I go at the court, not in the court because that's how they trick you. See, that's another thing. But when I go at the court, I'm going there to claim. And the only reason why I'll be able to claim is because I did my homework. I did the things I need to do. I put everybody on notice. So then when I go on that deliverance chair on the 16th, I'm going to be delivered by the grace of Yah. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. I mean, it's the same thing that happens in the spiritual realm is also in the physical realm as well. So I get too passionate. I'm sorry about that, but I just
hey. Hey, Kabeer. Hey, while you were talking, I was thinking I'm gonna re-edit and retitle the show because of all the information coming out. Because I'm telling you, our men have been oppressed through our women. Satan, Satan always desired to use the women to oppress the men. The women are aborting our seeds. They push that feminism and you're all equal. And I see it's all designed around what you're saying.
Yeah, if you look at Isaiah 3:4, or is it Isaiah 3:12? It says this. Isaiah 3:12 says, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, that which lead cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy path." And so they're using our sons and our daughters to oppress us. And like I said, but everything that's happened to us as men. This is why Yah said, "My people perish because of lack of knowledge." It's because of our lack of knowledge, because of the sins of our forefathers, because of their sin. And now we're coming into the truth, and we're learning how to truly come out of her, my people. So everything that Pastor, our shepherd, has been telling us about coming out of my people, now we are not only we coming out physically, but we can now come out legally or lawfully or whatever. Yah is starting to bring a lot of things to straightway, obviously with the leadership of Pastor Dow, on how we can come out completely out of her and live a peaceful life amongst ourselves. And we don't need to live set-apart lives.
Say that again. Your phone broke up a little bit.
Say again?
I said, say that again. Your phone broke up a little bit.
Oh, I said that we need to come out of her, my people, not only from a legal, lawful perspective, but from taking care of our own food, growing our own food, and just in every way. Men really taking back over their home and not going to the court system to adjudicate their matters. You're a man. You're the priest of your home. You're the judge. You're the Alpha and the Omega in your home. And so we need to just start learning to act like men. And that's what I've been learning. Like, I didn't come looking for this stuff. I was okay with giving half. I was kind of okay grudgingly giving $8,000 a month because I didn't know any type of remedy to get out of it. It seemed like there's no law. Well, in maritime law, in the law of the sea, there is no law for men. Men, it's bad. But then when I found out that when this thing fell on my lap, and it fell on my lap, I didn't come looking for this stuff. It fell on my lap. It made sense. I said, wow. And then I started applying it. And then I started seeing how they were treating me. And it's amazing how you see them trying to get you back into the sea, but they can't touch you when you're on the land. So I've always been a guy. I mean, I can swim, but I'm not a swimmer. I always said that I could do anything on land, but when I go to the sea, man, that's a whole nother world for me. Especially when you're a man of dark skin. I don't know. A lot of us are not necessarily swimmers. Not that we can't swim, but I like being on the land.
Hey, Kabeer, check this out. Speak on this real quick. Like, just the effect that this has on women. Because, look, I just got done with a small season on spiritual combat of dealing with women. Right now, I'm dealing with men and a lot of masculine issues. Of course, you get no trolls, you get no kickback. But when we go on these women, it's just a big uproar that I could give a damn. I don't mind. But the effect it has on women when they not now, instead of them knowing in the back of their head, oh, worst case scenario, I just go to the legal system. Now, the men are getting empowered. Now we know the men, we're reestablishing the biblical way. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
This was shut it down. You know, it's so crazy. I think about when my wife of 16 years, now ex-wife, left me. One of the many things, but one of the four things that she made it. She said men and women are equal. And I couldn't find it biblically. And this is why she said, and now all these answers are being answered. I know that we're supposed to keep the Shabbat. I know I'm supposed to stay with straightway because I'm not supposed to forsake the fellowship. And one of the four things, the ultimatum, is I had to acknowledge that men and women are equal. We're not equal. There's a double standard even in Torah. There's a double standard even with the constitutional law. Now, when you go to maritime law statute, that's where they make it equal. And what I'm learning is that a woman is not equal. That's why a woman cannot compete with a man on the land. And that's why they trick the man. They have to deceive the man, trick the man to come into the sea and play with them, because that's where they have power. But when they go into that land, a woman is shut down. These women, I mean, that's why 90%, it's a high percentage, but I know a high percentage, women are the one that's filing for divorce. It's not the man. It's the women filing for divorce. Now you have a few men who actually file for divorce. They don't need to. They can actually do it themselves. Just give her a bill of divorce and put her out of the house. She didn't create all this stuff. She can't even touch your stuff because you're the creator. And the only way she can get it, if she created. So if she works, then maybe she has. Then if she worked, then it belongs to her in some way. She can press the record. But if you're a breadwinner and she brought nothing into it and created nothing, she has nothing. So according to Exodus 21:10, what does it say? That if a woman leaves, she leaves with no money. This is Torah. And so anyway, I just we men just need to start learning how to act like men. I know what I'm saying sounds exciting and makes sense because we know Torah, we understand how everything works. But guys, this is dangerous information. If you don't know what you're doing, you can hurt yourself in a bad way. So I want to continue to warn you guys. Look into what I'm saying, and let's talk. We're going to have, I'm going to try to get this brother who's been teaching me, Brother Baldwin, who learned from from a guy named Carl. But this is dangerous. I'm in it, and the only reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, I don't want you guys to think I'm in here just doing my own thing. I have a brother who knows this stuff, and he's helping me step by step. And every step I go into, I can't tell you what to do next because I've never done this before. The reason why I'm confident in the beginning, because I've already passed that part. I already know if you don't even get into the system, I can get you up there, and then I can explain to you where I've traveled, but I have not completed it yet. So I'm in the middle of it, and as I continue going through the process, then I can tell you more. Because once you get it, and you can help people. But right now, I'm still in it. I haven't closed the deal, and until I close the deal, I really can't tell people how to close the deal. But I can tell you how to get to where I'm at. I can tell you how to get from San Diego to Green Bay, you know what I'm saying, because I travel, but I can't tell you how to go to the East Coast. Now, I'm just joking, but you know what I'm saying. So right. I'm just trying to just let you guys know that this is dangerous stuff. That little chart, study common law, study the Constitution like it's the Bible. It's not, and it's not even that long. It's very short. Most of it has to do with the president, the judicial, the Congress, but the part you want to study is right there in the beginning about, you have the right, you have inalienable rights. The Congress should study the amendments. Look at the amendments, all the amendments, all those stuff. When you start looking at your sons and daughters as property, start using the word property. Now read the Constitution like, wow, you can't take my gun. You can't take my sons and daughters. You can't I have rights. And so once you start looking, but they don't want you, like some people can get tricked into this stuff and say, hey, a judge may come to you and say, hey, let's come to my chambers. And then he says, something, due to slavery, I just don't like the idea of you calling your son a property. Can we just call him a child? And you said, yeah. You feel kind of like, wow, the judge is listening to me. And you said, yeah, I can understand that. Let's call him child. See, he tricked you back into statute. So now he can handle this in his seat. Or he may say, can we just call it your kid? Or, it's just weird to just, slavery. I'm so against slavery, and calling it a property just remind me back of the days of slavery. Can we just call your son? I mean, your property. Can we call it children or child or kid? Because that's all of their words. That's the language of the sea. And so you say, no, they're my property, and you stick to that, and don't let them trick you into psychological babble. Things of that nature. So anyway, I hope this is making sense. I know I'm saying a lot, but I think it should be common sense of what I'm saying. So these are why you hear me saying words. That's why I'm staying away from certain words. I'm using, property, sons, offspring, seed, but I stay away from child, children, parent. These are all bad words. These are all dead language. These are all languages of the sea. I want to speak the language of the land. So anyway, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that's good, man. And And the thing is, all this stuff, and the thing I've been harping on right now, I'm dealing. A lot of the lessons I've been doing, especially this past week, have been kind of more directed to men and being masculine and stuff. Is information like this about getting your house in order and the proper roles and the legal system and the stuff Kabeer's pressing through, because like he said, children are their oppressors and their women rule over them, and they use the legal system to empower them. That's one of the legs that these women unknowingly, through, because they're deceived, use to oppress men and flip men's role upside down, and to, you know, the men are in sin. The men have to step up. The media is the other thing. Just like I showed you some of these media articles where, you know, oh, Dwayne Wade, he's accepted, and they're praising him because he's understanding that his son is going to be a transformer or a gayfer or something. You know, all this stuff. The men are oppressed. I hear it all the time. Oh, she's raking me over the coals. You know.
Hey, Brother Michael.
Go ahead.
Hey, I'll give everybody a lesson here. If you have a strong concordance, and if you have, I'm assuming you have a King James Bible, go look behind the word children in the Bible. Just do a search and look behind and see what the definition. Like when it says the children of Israel, the children of Israel, it's really the sons of Israel.
Wow.
And so even with our own book, they trick us into it, because if you notice, even when they did the census, they never counted the daughters. They always counted the men. They counted the boys, the sons, not the daughters. But to make it equal, so I always talked about NLT, the New Living Translation. They wrote it in such a way to kind of bring some neutrality or, you know, equality, and so they take out away. Well, even in the King James, even though it's better than a lot of versions, but even in the King James, you can see that they did that just a little bit. So look behind that. You're going to see it's talking about sons. 80% of it is talking about sons. The sons. So the sons are ruled by the woman, or the sons of Israel, not the children. You know, if you look, we got the 12 tribes. The 12 tribes were based off of men, not women. He had one daughter, I think, that was mentioned, but it's talking about the sons of Israel.
Right.
So anyway, you can do a search on that. You will see, if you look behind the English word, it's really sons. And then some things where they will just clear out, say daughter and son, you know, like in Exodus, you know, let your sons, your daughters, to things. But when they would talk about them as a group, they always said sons, or things. It's always, and it's masculine. Just look up the definition. I mean, maybe I'm all wet, but I think that I've done it. So, and that's what makes you start. I'm starting to look at things that's so different. Words do matter. Words really do matter.
That's good. That's good, man. And look, y'all can guarantee it. I've already, you know, I keep an eye on social media, and you know, it's funny, man. A lot of the attacks out there, man, y'all, and I've been saying this a lot, man. You got, and just like Kabeer saying, you gotta look. You gotta really pull your feelings and your traditional thinking out of this and look at stuff for what it's worth. Man, the majority of these people have been deceived into worshiping women. They put women on a pedestal because they've been conditioned by the media, by the culture, by society, by the legal system, by these ministries out here. They've been conditioned to worship them. So even you could guarantee this lesson, this talk we're having today on the Shabbat, you could guarantee this thing gonna be villainized on social media soon. I'm telling you. What do you think, Kabeer?
I agree. This is gonna be good. And I just saw somebody make a comment that Jezebel is a marine spirit or something. That's true. I mean, this is a beast, man. Riding the beast, man. Yeah, this is gonna be good stuff, and I'm looking forward to seeing. But we just got to just continue fighting the good fight, and there's a lot to learn. I mean, this is a steep learning curve, and I'm just praying that just like y'all laid this on my lap, that somehow we can get this to his people. There's so many things that I've learned. Like, as much as, I hate losing my family, but losing my family was the best thing that could ever happen to me, because it put me on the course of freedom. When Yah says that, when Yahshua said that if you save your life, you lose it. But if you lose your life for my name's sake, you will save it. And literally, because I lost my life, I'm literally saving it. There would have been no reason for me to learn this. I would have been okay being in the sea. I would have okay been in the legal system. I would have been okay with living a lie if this didn't happen. But because of it, it put me in a situation that I didn't ask for, but I'm here. And now I'm learning so much that is actually opening the doors of becoming truly free. Like, as I travel, I'm free. They can't touch me. I'm learning so many things, and I'm continuing to learn things,
Right.
And I don't want to put so much out here, but I'm just going to say there's so much, guys, that we don't have to do. You'll be blown away by the things that we do that we don't have to do. And we're only doing it because we choose to do it.
Hey.
But here's the problem.
Uh-huh.
Here's the trap. The trap is this. We think we have to do it. And that's what happens. And even when you tell people you don't have to do it, yes, the first thing that comes in is the spirit of fear. But we have to remember that Yah does not give us a spirit of fear. And so that's what keeps people in slavery, is the spirit of fear. But I gotta be honest.
And real fast, and that's why anytime there's some type of oppression of men, or they're put on child support, they don't mind that being spoke on, because it's like, oh man, like the dudes be saying, it's cheaper to keep her.
Yep. Those terms, and I can tell you that I really believe you have to understand, before I came into the truth, I love my wife. I love my children. I call them sons and daughters. That was very important. Then I said, I love God. And when I had that dream and God said, you don't love me, that's when he pulled me out of the world. And then I literally had to choose if I was going to love him or love my wife, if I was going to love him or love my sons and daughters. And it was in the choosing of him and abiding in him that allowed me, and it was hard. It was not easy. It's not like, oh yeah, that's easy. No, it was hard. It was gut-wrenching. I had to have tremendous grit to get through this stuff. I thank Yah for Pastor Dow. I thank Yah he literally led me to Pastor Dow. That's all I can say. He led me to Pastor Dow, and he literally used Pastor Dow. Out of everybody that I talked to, the only person at that time when I was dark place that had understanding on a whole nother level was Pastor Dow. He's the one that literally led me out of darkness. Pastor Dow. I know people want to say, oh, you worshiping. No. Yah used him. It reminded me of the Pilgrim Progress, where you had the evangelist, and he was leading this guy named Christian. That's the character's name. And he kept directing him. Pastor Dow is my evangelist. He was the one that directed me to that straight path. He's the one that helped me to give me knowledge. And so I don't in any way, shape, or form think I'm anything special. I'm just thankful that Yah was so gracious to open up my eyes, to bring Pastor Dow into my life, and to use Pastor Dow in such a way to lead me out of the situation I was in. There was no, because everybody around me was trying to deceive me, trying to trick me, beguile me, kill me, destroy me, and the only lone voice that had any understanding was our shepherd, Pastor Dow, and I'm indebted to that man. I'm indebted to Yah, but I'm thankful that Pastor Dow was obedient. I'm thankful that Pastor Dow didn't allow my celebrity status or whatever. I mean, he spoke truth. He was kind. He was tough. I mean, come on. How many pastors you know without a professional football player, a former football player, you didn't have balls before. Now you're starting to get your balls back. Most guys say, how dare you talk to me like that? And so I appreciate that Pastor Dow didn't all of a sudden say, well, what can I tell him? Pastor Dow didn't get caught up in his feelings, his emotions, and didn't tell me what I needed to hear to get out of the situation. So many pastors will tell you what you want to hear and tell you what your itching ear wants to hear so that he can be your friend, so that in hopes you will give him money. But Pastor Dow actually did the opposite. But he didn't do it, but he didn't go overt. Some pastors will say, okay, I'm going to act like, you got pastors that will do two things that I've experienced. They'll either be your friend and never tell you when you're wrong, or they will just overt say, I don't care if you're a football player, boom, 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 boom. And it's so overt. They'll say, okay, why do you keep telling me you don't care I'm a football player? Who said anything about me being a football player or this and that? Pastor Dow treated me like anybody else, it feels like. He just told me what I needed to hear. Now, he acknowledged who I am and what I've done and what I've accomplished, but it wasn't the main event. Pastor Dow just said, here's what the word says and here's what you need to do. And you need to stand. That's what pretty much he stand. He listened to me. He didn't, I can say so much about Pastor Dow. I am loyal to him. I mean, y'all have to take him out for me to stop following Pastor Dow. I'm going to follow Pastor Dow, but I don't know if I've ever expressed the depth of what Pastor Dow got me out of. And so now I'm learning what it means to really come out of her, my people. Yeah, Pastor Dow is detected, but there's so many things that's coming to us as to Pastor Dow as a ministry that there's many parts to the body. I know financial, I know the legal or lawful things now, but I don't know all. But there's people coming in who do know these things that can help us to really bring this vision that Yah has given to Pastor Dow from coming out of her, physically coming out of the cities, living, growing your own food, doing community. Man, community is off the chain. Like, from a financial perspective, oh my goodness, that's off the chain. And then to now put that when you're growing your own food, oh my, it's like Yah is literally reestablishing Israel. He's literally, those who are keeping his commandments, those who have their faith in Yeshua HaMashiach, man, I'm telling you, I can see it. I can literally see the finish line. And now I'm just trying to get to the finish line. And I really believe all of this stuff that's coming, anyone, and everybody wants to leave. If you can't submit to authority, all these people want to leave and say, well, why you got to listen to Pastor Dow and you can't obey those who rule over you. There's something into it. They've always had it from Moses, from Moshe, all the way, even in Adam's time. Adam was ruling over a lot of people. From Adam all the way to now, we've always had people rule over us. Okay, let me calm down. I'm sorry.
No, that's good, but hey, because you hit on a lot of stuff, and it's like, man, these people who don't see it are just, they haven't seen the dark side of this culture, of this society. It's a dark, deceptive culture, and in order for them to get you as a man to give up your power, just like Satan in the garden, he's still very much working the exact same way. And I'm telling you, building off what Kabeer said, since I come in the straight way, I've really seen it, because now you got a standard where people are diligently trying to keep a high moral character according to the Bible, trying to diligently having integrity, biblical integrity, okay? And now you have a standard to compare it against, and most people, like what this lesson was originally going to be, was going to be about how the Bible makes you whole. And the Bible makes you, if you follow what the Bible says you're to do as a real man, it makes you bold, because you're going to have to go against things. You're going to have to, it's going to challenge you. Go ahead, Kabeer.
Hey, I just want to, there's this question here. There's this question from a sister named Angela Nobor. She said, if during the divorce the father gave over custody willingly to the mother, does that not make the sons and daughter her property? Key word, if you say willingly. Now, if you looked at the contract that I signed with my ex-wife, it looked like I did it willingly based on paper. But it was a coercion. I was tricked into it. I was coerced into it. I thought I had to do it. So it wasn't willing. So if he wants his sons and daughter back, and he said that he didn't have free consent, it belongs to him, and lawfully he could get it back. But under the maritime law, the legal system, it will be the woman's if he signed it, but he could come out of it if he can say he didn't willingly do it. But if he willingly gave, then it belongs to the woman. So he can do as he wishes, and it would belong to the woman, but he has to say, yep, I willingly gave this. It was free consent on her part and my part to give my sons and daughter to this woman. Just like with Abraham, with Sarai. She had Hagar. That was her property that was given to her by her father. So even though it was her father's property, he gave it to her when she married Abraham. So anyway, I just want to
but the other thing that we gotta hit on with that, Kabeer, also is she said he willingly gave it over, but was he deceived? Did he unknowingly?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. On paper, it looks like I gave everything to my ex-wife willingly, but if I now come to the truth that I didn't do it willingly, and that I was coerced and I was tricked by an attorney to sign all of my whole life and everything, then he would have lawful ground to get it back, and he can easily say that I didn't. He can rescind all his contracts. He has the ability. So you would know he willingly did it if he doesn't rescind his contract. Let's say he became knowledgeable. He said, "Oh, I can get them back. Oh, then I rescind all my contract." And he has to give why he rescinded all his contract, and that's what I did. I put on notice that I rescind my contract. I was coerced. I was tricked. I was beguiled. Boom, 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 boom. So if he says that I know I can do that, but I gave it to her and she can have it, then she can have it. It's her property.
So but yeah, y'all, that is somebody was asking how can they learn these things, just like Elder Rufus said. He said stay connected the straight way. Look, y'all. And then I'm going to say this off of what Angela said here. She said, well, no, not Angela, but somebody was saying.
Can I say?
Go ahead, Kabeer.
Just one more thing. Even in Torah, what does it say? A man must leave his father and mother and cleave to his what?
Wife.
His wife, and woman, really. It's really
his woman.
Wife is a legal term, too. But to his woman, right? So, isn't that interesting? It never says that about the daughter. It's the man that will eventually grow of age, and he will do the leaving and cleaving. The woman is given to her husband. She doesn't. She is purchased or given by her father, or to a man. The man is not given away. He leaves. That's why I said, how come it's the man that's leaving? Because as a man, he now becomes. He becomes an authority, or it's like I said, there's no law against a man. When he's a boy, he's under the tutelage of his father and mother. But when he gets of age, he now leaves and cleaves to his wife. So anyway, I just want to let you know. I mean, the Torah is the law of the land. It's literally the law of the land. So anyway.
Okay. So yeah, but Sister Lena put. This somebody else had something?
No, you said something about Sister Angela. You was going to say something about you was going to leave off where something about what she said.
Well, she was just she said he doesn't want her. What I'm saying is, and the woman, whoever put that question in there, because I mean, some men, like I said, they signed it over. They're like, look, I ain't going to destroy myself financially. So if this is a righteous woman, she would make sure he doesn't want his seeds, so-called. Yes. Okay? So that's all we're saying. Now, wrapping things up, Sister Lena put Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for the good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. So a lot of people I've seen, they're like, wow, this stuff is out there. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is straightway. It's real people who are serious about the Bible. I cannot say, I've been all over the Hebrew community, and not by what I've seen, but what I've seen, the fruits I've seen in the Hebrew community and what I've seen in Straightway are totally different. I've seen serious-minded people who seriously want to do what's in this book in Straightway. In the Hebrew community, I've seen a bunch of talk, and a lot of people get angry when I say that, but I'm just stating fact, and I challenge those people to go and prove me wrong, But what I've seen is fruit in all areas, and like Kabeer said, I, I see people pushing in the uncharted territory, like what Kabir is doing. Kabir is a pioneer. He does not have a spirit of fear. He's a warrior. He has a spirit of boldness on him to be willing to go into court. And I'm talking about the stakes are high. We're not talking about, I could just get another job and this, that. Like, it's high stakes. I remember when the first time he went to try this stuff out, he said, "Hey, I might be in court. You might not see me." He said it on his live. It's all documented. He's like, "Hey, I'm willing to go to jail." Talk about that real quick, Kabeer. You going out there?
See, that's what I was talking about. That when Jesus says, if you save your life, you'll lose your life. Because when you're trying to save something, you're going to be more cautious. You're going to play it safe. But when you lose your life, you end up saving it. Because after I lost the most important thing at that time in my life, my wife, my sons and daughter, money, whatever. I mean, I lost things and it was so done unjustly. But when I got to that point, and Pastor Dow got me out of the dark zone, Yadu, Pastor Dow, helped me to get out of there. You get to a point like, you know something, I'm free. And now I didn't care about my reputation anymore. I didn't care about trying to say something that the white man wanted me to say so that I don't want to lose my commercial deals or my endorsements or my business. I mean, you don't even know you're doing it. You're always watching what you do. And I mean, you have to understand, I had a good record. If you look at me before Straightway, man, people didn't have issues with me. And now people saying Kabeer's changed. He's off the chain. He's no longer on the chain. He's off the chain. Literally, I'm off the chain. Because now my mind is, hey, to die is for gain, and to live is for Christ. If I'm going to live, I'm going to cause havoc for Christ. And so now I don't have anything to fear. What are you going to do? Take my life? You already took the thing that I thought was most important to me. You took my wife, my children, everything that I've ever worked for. You took away my name, my heart, everything that I've ever worked for got just destroyed. Now, I'm going to fight for my rights, because what are you going to do? Throw me in jail? Go ahead. Maybe I don't have to worry about putting food on the table anymore. I mean, you're not going to scare me anymore. So the boldness comes in the losing. It's in the losing of things that you get that strength. It's in the losing, but you can't just lose it for the sake of losing it. I lost it for Christ. It's because of my love for Jesus, that my Yeshua HaMashiach, that allow me to now see. So everything I do is righteous, even what happened to our brothers. It's not like we went in there causing any problems. It's not like we went in there and try to be a nuisance in there. We were there peacefully. And we are being persecuted because we choose to live godly in Christ Jesus. And so that's why we can stand up and know who we are in Christ. Once you know who you are and what your rights are, you have power. We come in the authority of Yeshua HaMashiach. And when you walk with that attitude, no one can touch you. Satan can't even touch you on spiritual ground. That's why it's important for us to get deliverance. That's why Straightway is a deliverance ministry. That's why they're casting out devils, casting out demons, casting out all these things that torment us. We got to go back and find out what is it that's in torment. I got delivered from a lot of things, from arrested development, from being molested, all the different things that I had to come through. I didn't experience a lot like some other people, but I experienced things that tormented me for years, all my life. A lot of my career from football and the way I was so passionate to go out on the football field and do things was because of a lot of things that I was wounded from in my childhood. But when I got delivered, my greatest fear was, how am I going to play football? How am I going to be able to do the things that got me motivated to be able to have good games? I don't need anymore. I don't have to have a good game to feel good about myself. I don't have to have a good game to feel like I'm lovable, because I had to win. It was my life. It was not my livelihood. It was for survival. If I didn't have a good game, if I didn't have my name in the paper that says Kabeer had a sack here and there, I felt depressed. I was depressed. Now I can have a bad game and say, hey, I'm not who I am. Just because I had a bad game doesn't mean I'm a bad player. I just was a good player that had a bad game. I'm going to take that loss, learn from it, and move forward. Same thing. I lost my wife, lost my sons and daughter. Guess what? I'm not a bad husband. I'm not a bad father. I just had a bad marriage, had a bad woman. Learn from it, move on, and have a better marriage next. And so now I can be in a new marriage. pastor. I can't say, oh, all pastors are bad. Or pastors don't like me. No, I just have bad pastors. Now I have me a Jeremiah 3:15 pastor. And now guess what? I'm gonna follow him as he followed Christ. There's no reason for me to say, well, pastor, you're gonna do me the same thing like the other pastors do. No, I'm gonna judge him on his own merits. I'm gonna judge him on his own conversations, his own footwork. And so that's how deliverance can let you really be free. But all these people coming into straightway or thinking they don't need deliverance, I'm telling you, if you don't get the deliverance, you cannot maximize being truly the man that Yah calls us to be. And so I'm telling you, this deliverance is serious. But also, too, I see a lot of people that just want to sit in that chair and go through the motion, but don't do the homework. You've got to do the work. You've got to enter your pain. You got to get to the root of why you are being tormented. What is giving Satan the legal or the lawful ground to be able to do the things he's doing? Because at the end of the day, Satan can't touch us. He can't touch us unless he has some type of lawful or legal ground. I'm just telling you, he can't. The same thing with the legal system. They can't touch you unless they have lawful ground. And if you sign your rights away, they have now legal grounds to torment you. Take your sons and daughters. Take half of the stuff you work for. That's the only reason why I'm in the situation I am, is because I gave lawful legal grounds, whatever you want to call it. I gave legal grounds for them to do what they're doing. Until I say stop, it will stop. And that's why they're having a hard time dealing with me, because now I know who I am. And I put everybody on notice. Just like they say in deliverance, we're putting Satan on notice now.
Right.
You've got to put these people on notice. So anyway, let me calm down, but I'm just telling you, that's where you get the boldness. The boldness comes in the losing of things. If you're trying to save your wife, save your family, you're trying to save your wicked-ass natural family, and don't want to let go, or save your wicked-ass image, or save your wicked-ass job, or whatever it is, then you're going to always be in a situation where Satan is going to torment you, and you're going to still be a slave to the system. So it's in the losing of things that you truly get the boldness that you need to be able to fight this good fight. So anyway.
So, real fast, y'all, because I'm going to wrap this up. But before I do that, I want to do this, okay? Kabeer, I put it, there it is on YouTube. He documents it, like, for the past, this whole situation he's went through even before I think he came to Straightways, all documented right here on his channel, KGB94 TV. So y'all could go there, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And like I said, he has everything documented, through him going through court, to his new marriage, to his new Ashaya, and everything in between. And he continues to document everything, so it could be, so it could be a blessing to other people. Again, a lot of y'all want to get understanding on this. As he moves through and gets a better understanding, this information is gonna come out, and it'll be a blessing to you. Now, for those of y'all watching on, and hold on one sec, okay. So yeah, for those of y'all watching on YouTube and Facebook, if you're on Facebook, hit that like button or hit that love button if this was a blessing to you. For those of y'all watching on YouTube, definitely hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to Spiritual Combat. We're going to continue to do this. Brother Kabeer will be down here in Jacksonville, Florida, down here at Jacksonville, Florida Straightway. He will be down here in about 3 weeks. And I think Brother Mathis will be down here. Robert Mathis will be down here maybe next week. So anyway, me and Kabeer, we'll do a couple shows out here on the property, and he can take some of your questions, comments, concerns, and stuff like that concerning these topics. He is going to be an expert on it, and this is what we need, man. It is they've used this legal system to oppress, to keep us oppressed as a nation for way too long. You know what I'm saying? And it's more This is biblical. It said, children are your oppressors and your women rule over you. It's written. It's there in the book. You see it all through the book. And it's up to the men to stand up and according to the Bible. We are to rule our houses and the women are to be submitted. And the men, it's not the man's job to make a woman submit. If a woman is a godly woman, she will submit to her husband. Period, point blank, plain and simple. But what you see in the Hebrew community, what you see in majority of these ministries out here is evil women. And that's on them. They do not want to submit. And literally, they're just evil. You got to call it what it is. You know, if they're not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, it's evil. You see what I'm saying? So we are. It's definitely. Hold on one sec. Just checking something out. Okay, so there we go. But yeah, man, we are. We have to be a beacon of light in this darkness. I mean, because there is a lot of darkness and deception out there. So we got to definitely get things in order. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to take it out with a song from my man, my dude, the praise and worship branch of Spiritual Combat, Beloved Daoud. We're going to go with Transparent, and I'm going to take it out with that. Appreciate y'all. I'm Michael Israel. This is Spiritual Combat. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Shalom, shalom.
Burn them up, miss. That coach. For you. On you who I'll bet my life. Won't toss my paradise. I'm I ain't nice. Subtract falsehood advice. You who eventually seeing through y'all. That rule got me seeing through y'all. Ain't like I'm doing something to y'all. You who got me seeing through y'all. You who eventually seeing through y'all. That rule got me seeing through y'all. Ain't like I'm doing something to y'all. You who got me seeing through y'all. Yeah. Family business ain't no greed in me. Mr. Clark, my brother lean on me. I lean back, but it ain't no dance. Make appeals, but it ain't no Zans. Feeling okay, I'm oh so grand. Keep in mind, only got two hands. Never label in advance. Don't call a friend until you prove that man. A little time, all you need. If it's genuine, it shows. Vampires play a role. In the light, get exposed. Transparent up against that law. Brothers hide it like no one saw. Yahuwah eyes never miss your acts. One day you gotta pay that tax. Fairy tales, you can clean that mess. Toward keeping me at my best. If you hate a brother so, he will never stop the show. What's it like to some love? Especially from above. Mighty talk where you learn that at. Man of perfect, never burn a batch. Yahuwah word, that's all for me. Everything else is so bored. Life in me, what y'all store. This English sound foreign, yeah. Righteous point of view, pray they see it too, yeah. Make no excuse, stand on my life. Won't toss my paradise. I'm I ain't nice. Subtract falsehood advice. You who eventually seeing through y'all. That rule got me seeing through y'all. Ain't like I'm doing something to y'all. You who got me seeing through y'all. You who eventually seeing through y'all. That rule got me seeing through y'all. Ain't like I'm doing something to y'all. You who got me seeing through y'all.